There's clearly many joys to having a dog, but as you can see, he's also a pain. So he's dug an hole to next door. I've had to buy another fence panel, another 35 quid down. He's dug several holes, cost lots of money, lots of hassle. So I lived down here for about a year now. I've been to Woking a handful of times. Every single time I've had a really bad experience. So the traffic, there's been roadworks for the past year and I don't know what they're doing here, but yeah, every single time you come it's just diversion after diversion. I don't know my way around as it is. The sat-nav's telling me to go one way, but the diversion's taking me another way. You end up just driving around in circles after circle. Clear to say I'm not a big fan of working. Perfect. You know, I feel a bit bad about saying that I don't like working. It's not actually true, and I'm sure working's a really nice here. It's just my experiences so far have been spoiled by the traffic and all the roadworks. But anyway, enough about that. What I want to talk about today is fartlek training. So I'm going to quickly talk about what fartlek training is and what it can do for you and how you should use it. But first of all, I've got to spend the next 45 minutes to an hour trying to navigate myself away back home from Woking. Wait for the barbers to get back open. Alright, following on from the running series that I've been doing over the past couple of weeks, couple of videos. So fartlek then, translated into Swedish, is speed play, so it's a Swedish word, means speed play. What is it then? It's exactly what it says on the tin. It basically is speed play. So what we're going to do with fartlek training, instead of going out on our normal training run, we're running 50-60%, nice and steady like we spoke about. You want to be running at a pace where you can comfortably have a conversation. If you was with someone, you can maintain that pace through a prolonged period of time. Okay, so fartlek training is slightly different. What we're going to do is we're going to play about with the speeds during that run. So for example, earlier when I went out on a run, I was running down the canal. Let's just say we're running down the canal and we're going to pick an object in front of us. At the moment we're running at a 50-60%. We're going to pick an object, a feature, a lamppost, a tree, a wall, a marker out in front of us that we can see. And we're going to say once we hit that marker, we're going to up the pace from 50-60% up to 80-90%. And from there, once we're at 80-90%, we're going to pick another marker in front, another tree, another bench, whatever it may be, a person. Once we hit that marker, we're going to bring it straight back down to 50-60%. So that's just one way we can use fartlek training. Okay, so a really good example of this would be a long road with loads of lampposts on it. So what we can say is we're going to go nice and steady. Once we hit the next lamppost, for 4 lampposts we're going to work at 90%. Once we've gone past 4 lampposts, we're going to bring that straight back down 50% again. We're going to recover for 8 lampposts. Once we've recovered for our 8, we're going to chuck the speed up for 5 lampposts, let's say, at 70%. And again, once we've done that for 5 lampposts, we're going to come back down to 50%. So really all we're doing is playing about different speeds for different distances or different times. So the other way you could do this is you could work for 1 minute at 90%, and then you can recover for 2 minutes at 50%, and let's say you could do 4 minutes at 70% and then recover again at 50% for 2 minutes. Really, there's no rules to fartlek training. You've just got to play about with it, have fun with it, be inventive with it. But that's just 2 ways you could go about it. Another example then would be using distance. So we could say, okay, we're going to do 0.2 miles at 85%, then we're going to recover for 0.3 miles, 50 or 60%. Once we've done that distance, we're going to do 0.5 mile at 75%, whatever you want. So you see where I'm going with this. We could use distance. So you do a distance where you're putting in more effort than usual, and then recovering for a certain distance, and then doing another distance at another percentage where you're working a lot harder than you normally would on your normal training run. Right, so what benefits are we going to get from fartlek training then? It's going to benefit our endurance, so it's also going to make our shorter runs a little bit faster. So our normal running pace where you're running at your 50 to 60% pace, if you keep doing this, will increase to where your 60-70% pace is now. So you'll be working less but getting a faster pace. It's really going to increase our speed, especially on shorter distances such as 2k and 5k. It's also going to give us the ability, or improve our ability, during, if you're thinking about doing park runs or races, you know, when you're coming up close to the finish line and there's somebody just ahead of you or at the side of you, it's going to help you give that little boost, that little spurt of speed to take you over that finish line and hopefully beat the person in front of you or prevent someone from behind you overtaking you, if you're looking at this competitively. But it's also fun, so it's a bit different from what we normally do on our training runs. Instead of going out on a steady 30-minute run, 40-minute run, whatever distance you're doing, whatever time you're running for at the moment, you know, it's something different. It breaks it up, it challenges you, it's helped building up that mind over matter attitude, and it's just a great tool to improve our running. Right, so while we're talking about running then, I've had 5 or 6 messages in the past week, 2 weeks, asking what trainers I wear and what trainers I would recommend. So as I said in a previous video, my recommendation is to go to a shop such as Sports Direct or Decathlon or any sort of running shop. Most of them now have got this machine, an actual running machine, where you'll be put on that running machine and there'll be a camera and it will look at the way your foot lands and hits the ground, and whether you've got a high arch, a low arch, a flat foot, etc, etc. You know, they look at your running style, your running gait, and then the experts who work in the shop will recommend the best training shoe for you. That is definitely what I recommend, but because I've been asked the question so frequently, this one's it. This is the trainer that I use. It's a really good trainer. Was pretty expensive. I think it cost me about $120, but it's the Nike Zoom Flyknits. What these trainers have got is they've got a carbon fibre plate inside of it, inside of the sole, and that's supposed to maybe sort of like put a spring in your step, I don't know. But that's not really the reason why I brought it. I just brought them because, you know, this trainer suits me. I tried them, I like the look of them, it was comfy. Yeah, and I get on really well with them. So it took a bit of getting used to because the outside of the trainer is all like cotton, it's all this fabric, so there's nothing actually solid there. So when I first started wearing them, it felt like they weren't much support, but once I got used to them, you know, I ain't looked back, and these ones need replacing now, so I will be buying this type again. But also, I've had some trainers in the past, and I've had a look on the internet, and I've had a look for some reasonably priced trainers and trainers that I personally would go for Personally, I really like Nike. I've ran in Asics before, I've ran in Adidas, I've had New Balance, all really good trainers, and they may be perfectly fine for you, but for me, I just really like the Nikes. They just seem good for me. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Nikes. But I'll put up on the screen now some trainers that I've picked out that are reasonably priced, all very good, suitable running trainers that I would recommend. I'll also put them in the link below. I'll put the link for the website. So I've gone on Sports Direct. I buy most of my trainers from Sports Direct just because I'm not really bothered about the price. They're a reasonably priced shop. I don't go searching on the internet for cheaper prices or the best prices. I don't really mind. I just buy them. But that's the reason I go to Sports Direct. They've got a good range of shoe. If you go down there as well, the staff there, from my experience, are really good. They're really knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about. They can help you out, point you in that right direction. So that's purely the reason why I'm linking to Sports Direct. But I mean, go on Amazon, find the trainer you want on Sports Direct or whatever website. Go on Amazon or on a different website. You'll be able to find them cheaper somewhere else if you're into that kind of thing. But if you're like me and you don't really mind spending a few extra pennies, you don't count them, then yeah, just buy Sports Direct or wherever. But then, so enough about running and trainers. What I want to do is I want to apologise to everybody that watches consistently. I promised that I'd be putting out a video a week, and I think it's been about 9-10 days now since I last put a video out. I'm not going to go into the reason why, or should I say the excuse why, because there should be no excuses. But I just want to say I'm sorry. I've got a week off work this week, I've got a week's leave, so to make up for it, I'm going to aim to put out 3-4 videos this week. So if you're following on with the running, you know, go out, give Fartlek training a go, introduce it to your running sessions, play about with it. Remember, there's no rules, just have fun with it, pick different distances, different speeds, and just enjoy it. Like always, if you enjoyed the video or you got anything out of it, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know if you're going to give Fartlek training a go. Hopefully the people that was asking the questions about the trainers, that gave you a little bit of help there. If you haven't subscribed already, then subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon on the next video.
To go.
Your camera, you can get out, yeah?